So we're here at the Sarpy County Museum. I just had a lovely man stop and talk to me and tell me that the outbuildings are locked, but if I had the time today, which unfortunately I don't, I can go in them, and they would take me in them. So hopefully on a different day. I should ask his name. I forgot. This is a spinner, and it just makes me think of Sleeping Beauty, and my granddaughter absolutely loves that movie right now. So the yarn winder kind of makes me chuckle because I was my mother's yarn winder. She used to take a skein out and be like, hold your hands out. I would have to hold it up while she turned it into a ball. So I guess maybe she was the winder and I was just the holder. This says it is a horsehide blanket. So, oh yeah, so it has like, I don't know if that's the mane or the tail. I assume it's the mane, but I guess somebody donated that after their horse had passed. Okay, so an ox yoke. Oxen were used to pull wagons instead of the horses because they ate less, required less care, and could pull heavier loads. I always assumed it was just because they could pull heavier loads, but evidently they also ate less. And of course, that's kind of common to know that they need less care. Like, you don't have to deal with their feet as much. A spider pot, due to the 3 legs, which reminded people of black spiders. Kind of like witch's cauldron. It was just Halloween, so that is apropos. Look at this old bike. Look at that bicycle. That's pretty cool. Antique cast iron velocipede, circa 1860s, referred to as a bone shaker. There's some saws for trees. There is a Mormon Trail museum also. This talks about the Mormon migration through Bellevue in the north part of Omaha. And some stayed behind, and then the others kept moving on to Salt Lake City. Their museum's actually pretty nice, but usually at the end they make you watch a video about becoming a Mormon, and kind of pressure you a little bit on that. Not too bad though. These are some old-fashioned sleds. Look, this one has like a steering column. There's a potato digger. This one says it's a cant hook used for rolling logs. A cant hook used for rolling logs. A corn sheller. Hand corn planter. That thing looks like when I used to have a hand mower that was personal propelled. That's what that reminds me of. And then it doesn't say what it is, but with the apples in it, it makes me think it's some kind of way of making apple juice or something. A cafeteria. I assume that's for getting milk. The early pioneers brought with them as many personal and necessary articles as their wagon could hold. Many things had to be left, so they chose the most valued and necessary. The spinning wheel, the yarn winder, the baby cradle, the iron pot, even the chickens. Most of their tools they made themselves. Look at this tire pump. Big old kettle. I'm not going to show you everything because you should come. There's a whole side I haven't even shown you at all. Look at those leather pants. This is an interesting toolbox. That is very deep. Look. Pretty deep toolbox. So see, there's a whole other side. With a big public school sign. So they said that they're building a new facility, which they hope will be done in a couple of years, and it's going to be located a little bit more central Sarpy County, and it's going to be 4 times the size of this one. And he said, the gentleman who I talked to said, the really good thing about it is they have so much in the back that they can't display because there's just no room for it. I really want to get on that scale and weigh myself. They probably wouldn't like that. So they'll be able to, put it out. And then my guess is it'll just be kind of upgraded from this building because it'll all be new. Look at the way these bottles used to be. Almost all glass. Eyeglasses, pretty much always round. That's your apothecary. Your powders and things to mix. Mortar and pestle. Magneto-electric machine for nervous diseases. Place the handles in the patient's hands or elsewhere on the patient's body and then turn a crank to deliver a mild alternating current to the patient. They claimed it could relieve pain as well as cure diseases. That doesn't seem like that would be true, but I guess you try anything back then. It's like licking batteries. Don't do that. It's something we used to do when we were kids to find out if a battery was still good. We used to lick the positive end. Kind of crazy. Dot comic books. I loved those when I was a kid. My favorite was The Little Rich Boy. Richie Rich. What was your favorite? So Halloween was yesterday, so they have their Halloween stuff up. A Peter Rabbit penguin bunk. Look at these. Those are so fun. So again, there's this whole other side. You have to come here and see for yourself, because I'm not going to give it all away. U.S. mail. There's so much to see. This is, so like, P.O. boxes. And this is supposed to be, I think, sugar. These kind of candy jars were used all the time for, like, penny candy. There used to be truly nickel and dime stores, and you could go in and buy candy for a penny or two, And the Sears Roebuck catalog. Everybody got the Sears Roebuck catalog. Oh my gosh, everybody. And, you would go in here and there was so much. This is really good shape in the inside. This one has like ice skates. You could get houses in them. Absolutely everything. A top hat. Shoes. So this phone, it looks like they have added on a fake. That red thing doesn't look like it's made out of the same material as back then. And I don't remember them ever being red, but I guess it could be. But you can see this doesn't really even sit on it properly, so it's just for them to show what it used to be like. The old-fashioned pictures. A lot of times people ask why was everybody so like sullen and not smiling, and it may have been because times were hard. But there's a lot of folks who say it's because you had to hold still for the picture for so long, and it would be hard to smile for so long, so they didn't even tell you to smile. They just wanted you to hold still. This is really dangerous. Oh, how funny, I'm old enough that phone, that was my kids' flip phone when they were in middle school. I never had one of these, but my grandma did. We had, when I was a kid, it was really like this kind of phone hanging up on the wall. That one, or I don't see the other kind we had in our house, actually. These were the kind you had at work because they had the lights and stuff, or they had them in hotels too. The ones at work didn't have the quarter thing for it. Oh, let's see how many of these cameras I've ever owned. I've had a Polaroid. I've had one similar to that, but not exactly that one. My dad had some really old ones. I've had a camcorder like that. And I've definitely used a camera like that. They don't have a lot of the kind I had. I actually have a really, really old movie camera from my dad. He's passed away, but wow, look how cool this is. Oh, it doesn't shut for me. Well, look at that. That would just close right up. That's clever. make it so you can. This will let me open it to see what's below. I probably shouldn't touch it, but I'll be gentle. Alright, well the pipes would go there, but they're not there. So interesting. And then I think this is something you go to the bathroom in. That's what I think that is. There's a potty chair for kids. Probably for adults too. These are bedpans for the hospital. I don't know if you ever use them at home or not, but I've had to use a bedpan like that when I was in the hospital. It's awful. So this is somebody's bills, because so it says May and then June each month, and they're saying that they spent money at the Hinky Dinky, which is a grocery store, $5.42, and they started off with $54.55. And then Ben Franklin is a store, so they did this each time they went somewhere. So Ben Franklin was like a 5 and dime store. So they spent $7.34 there, and then the Tom Smith Symposium, I'm gonna guess they went to some kind of a class or something for $10. Southwest Landfill, that must be their garbage, for $3. I don't know what J. Russell Francis is. Postage and the police department. Petty cash, they got $39 from something. So it makes you think that maybe this was for a workplace, because otherwise why would you call it petty cash? So maybe when they have a person's name, that would make sense. So maybe Tom Smith went to a symposium, and maybe Lana Montfort had to go to that Southwest pool or something, and because if you go further down it says Alkosh, his mileage. So yeah, that makes me think this was for a business. The Grand Army of the Republic, to all unto whom these presents come, greeting know ye, that reposing full trust and confidence in the fidelity and patriotism of comrades, I do hereby, in conformity with the rules and regulations of the Grand Army of the Republic, and by virtue of the power and authority in me vested, constitute them and their associates and successors a post of the Grand Army of the Republic, be known as Kirkwood, post number 106, Department of Nebraska, located at Springfield, Sarpy County, and I authorize and empower them to perform all acts necessary to conduct said organization in accordance with the rules and regulations of the Grand Army of the Republic. I guess they're swearing in all these people. Here's some of the medals of the past. You can see the fabric didn't really last on some of them. Ooh. Yes, that is, it's called a grape shot, a ball of grape shot, fired from cannons. It would disintegrate and all the balls would go everywhere. That would hurt. And then they have all these little model airplanes. The SAC Museum's quite good. I haven't been to it in a while, so maybe I'll take you guys there. This gas mask was carried by John Melia of Gretna, Nebraska during World War I. Little prayer book. Wallet-sized. There's a war ration book. This is a photo, circa 1940s, inside the Martin, Nebraska plant building D of the production line inside the factory. 25 acres under one roof. Wow. They used wood bricks instead of concrete for flooring. Because if you drop the tool on a concrete floor and cause a spark, it could have resulted in a fire. Volatile chemicals were used in the manufacture of the planks. Oh, so that's interesting. Didn't know that was the reason why. I was thinking maybe it was for shortage of materials, but I would have been wrong. Charles Joseph Marino. Offutt Air Force Base Golf Club NAGA approved handicap. I don't know what his handicap was, though it doesn't really say. Thank you for your service, Charles Joseph Marino. It's nice of these people to donate their items. I had something similar to this in our house, a calculating machine. When I was a kid, my dad thought that was cool. We carried that from house to house for a long time. I don't know when he finally got rid of it. So this is the Fort Crook Building Index. So these have like officers' quarters and operating hangar. Has a baseball field. Got to keep active. He has no shoes. We need to get you some shoes there, fella. Okay, well now we're to the other side that I want to entice you to come and see for yourself. So saying goodbye for now.